Hi everybody, this is Lois Friend and you are Stamping with a Friend. Before I get started, I'll tell you, I know that there's a shadow. I'm not exactly sure how to stop the shadow, but I can't turn the lights off because I need to see what we're doing, so what we're creating. Today I'm going to be creating 3 cards using the translucent florals set. This is really a versatile set, and all 3 cards that I'm going to be doing today feature this set. So I'm not going to take a lot of time. I want to get started because they might take a little while. They're not hard, they're just a little bit time consuming. The translucent floral set is featured in the mini catalog that went live on September 6th. It's been alive about just about a week, and it can be found, I'll find it here in just a minute. I should have had that ready. It can be found on page 56 of the catalog. And like I said, it's a very versatile set, and we've got 3 very different cards, and I'm just going to get started. The first card we're doing is this card using the it's kind of a vine-like, and the colors we're using are Crumb Cake and Cherry Cobbler, and those 2 combinations make for a very nice set. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to run this through the Twisted Rope 3D embossing folder. And I've always said that if you have nothing else but embossing folders, that makes a great little pop on your cards. So I'm going to do that first. Sorry for shaking the table. I should have put it on another table. Okay, so we have that, and the Crumb Cake, Cherry Cobbler, and this. Actually, we could go ahead and assemble that. That is done. And then we'll start creating the, well, I should have checked, made sure I had glue. I have discovered that I like using the glue just a little bit more than the tape runner. It's a little bit more forgiving, and some of my customers like the glue because they think it's a little bit easier to work with than the tape runner. And sometimes you can control it a little bit better. Okay, now I will give you all the dimensions of all the pieces in the comment section when I post this onto my YouTube channel. All right, so that's that. Now we're going to go ahead and do the sentiment on the circle. I cut the circles out with the 2 and 2 1/4 and 2 3/8. I'm going to use Pretty Peacock for the sentiment, and this says you're the best. Okay. Close that up. Go ahead and clean it so that it's clean when I'm done. And then for the vine, I'm really sorry about the shadows. I'm gonna have to work with getting that just a little bit more, less light or something, but I'm not sure how to do that. I'm definitely not a camera person, or electronics for that matter. All right, now that is ready. And I'm going to put that onto the circle. And I will go ahead and add that as well. And then we'll do the vines in just a minute. But I wanted to go ahead and place this, and I'm using a new product called Metallic Enamel Basics. And this color is the copper. And this is a good way to add an embellishment. Do that over there. Without adding a lot of height to your project. So when you get ready to mail it, you don't have to add postage. All right, I'm going to lay this aside, and now I'm going to do the flowers, or the vines. Sorry. Again, using the Pretty Peacock for one. And with this particular stamp, my class thought that it almost made it look like it was two-step stamping, because you have darker outline or darker lines, and then the inside was just a little bit more muted. But that is just the way the stamp is made, and I really like this. Okay. All right. And with this bundle, there is also the die cuts. And again, I'm going to move this onto another table so that I'm not shaking the camera. And I will take this over and die cut these real quick, and I'll be right back. I need the Jeopardy music. Do, 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 do. You can run and get your popcorn while I'm doing this. Okay. Now, I'm going to very carefully, because I know that Metal Effects is not dry yet. So I'm going to very carefully apply just a little bit of glue to the top portion of these vines. Okay, and there's no right or wrong way to do this. I add just a little bit of a twine bow. And I have found, I don't know, I have found that it works better for me rather than to cut a piece of twine off and then tie the bow, to tie the bow while the well, it's still attached to the spool before I cut it off. It can always be trimmed later. And then I'm going to use one of our glue dots. Sorry. I forget and get myself out of the line of the camera. I think I got 2 of those right there. And when the glue dry, or when those little things dry, I will come back and trim that up. But there is card number 1. I will lay aside. It takes a little while for these little metal effects. Like I said, it takes a little while for them to dry. So I'm going to put those aside and let it dry, and we'll get started on the next project. All right. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. I said I wanted to get this recorded. We are getting ready to leave in the morning for just a quick little getaway, and I'm trying to get everything done before leaving. All right, this is the next card, and this is a lattice card. And I have wanted to do one of these for a while, but I didn't have the nerve to try it. But I decided it was now or never. And I learned that it's not hard. It just, you have to be a little careful and take your time. The colors we're using on this are Melon Mambo. Make sure I get a nice clean fold. All right. Now, and again, I will put the instructions in the comments when I post this page. So if you're working along with me, that's great. If not, just wait until I get everything squared away. So the first thing we're going to do on the card front is we're going to cut away 3 1/4 inches off the card front. That's 3 1/4. Lay that aside, and I'm using our cutter, and I really like this cutter because it's so easy to read. So now we're going to cut 5 1/2 inch strips. Oops. Okay, that's 5. Now you have about a 3/4 inch, and I'm just going to eyeball it, and you need to cut this remaining piece in half. I'm going to lay those 2 pieces aside. Now, okay, so what we are going to do, it's going to look a little bit like you're building a Venetian blind. This is Post-it tape, and I think you can get it probably at any office supply store. I got this off of Amazon because it was convenient. I'm putting the sticky side up. Oops, I want to do it this way so that I can see the back of my card. I'm going to tape this down just to help hold it in place, and do the same down here. Tape that down to hold it in place. All right, now with these 1/2 inch pieces, I'm going to start at the bottom so that both they match, the back and the front bottom match, and just try to evenly place, and they can be readjusted. You leave just a little bit space in between. Like I said, they can be readjusted. Oops, that is definitely off. The hardest part of these is getting them even. All right. Eyeball it there and see if I got it straight. I think it's about straight. Now, what I'm going to do is from both ends, try to get in the same margin, thereabout. Oops, I picked up the wrong glue. All right, and I work one side at a time, just putting just a little bit of glue on each of the slats. Then I'm going to take take the last 2 pieces that I cut, and I kind of like them. They make them look like a picket fence. Oh, yeah, and don't forget to put a little bit of glue up here to hold. And now this is going to be what holds your card front together. Make sure you get straight, and we can cut off any excess when the card is done. All right, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. And again, this is called the lattice. I think it looks like a little white picket fence. I didn't get that quite even, but on top, but that'll be okay. All right. Get it about as even as you can. Now, leave the tape on, and we're going to lay this aside while it dries. And we're going to work on our flowers. That wasn't so painful, was it? All right. On this white cardstock, I'm going to do 3 flowers. This one is a larger one, and I'll do 1 of those. And again, this is a flower from the translucent floral set. And I want to do 2 of these. Okay. And leaves. I'm using Old Olive. The pink is Melon Mambo. And use, whoops, 2 of the double. And 1 of the single. And using the die cuts, I'm going to cut or die cut these flowers. And again, I'm going to be away from the camera for just a second. So run and get your coffee or tea. I should have planned just a little bit better and had part of this done, but I've been running around all day trying to get ready to head out in the morning. Fortunately, it doesn't take long to do these, so. All right. Now, to add just a bit of glitz or sparkle to your flowers, I'm going to use Wink of Stella. And again, this is an easy way to add a little bit of embellishment without adding height or weight to make it more expensive, to have to put more postage on your stamp when you take it to the post office. This adds just a little bit of glitter for those of you that like to glitter. All right. Now we're ready to build our card. And I think it's probably dry, so we can remove this tape. It's very easy to remove. All right. And whoops. I'm going to cut off those. Alrighty. Now, oh, I didn't put the sentiment on. I don't think I'm going to put a sentiment on. I had put Happy Birthday on this one, and I don't think I'll put sentiment on it until I'm ready to send it. Turn this over because I smeared my, okay. Now I'm going to use our small pop dots. And I'm putting them on the slats so that you can't see through. And I'll kind of arrange everything later. It's kind of a guesswork here. think I'll be different on this one. I think I'm going to add one to the other side. And the leaves, and you can always add as many more leaves or more flowers, however. Okay. Now I watched several people make these cards online, and I don't think there's a right or wrong way. Some of them put they put a piece in here to accentuate the card front. When I added this, when I made my first one, I put it there. Now at class, several of the gals said they wanted to do theirs that way. That way it covered any mistakes, oopses, or whatever, and they thought it looked better. So I think that's what I'm going to do. But I will caution you, when you do this, make sure you're careful when you add the glue and not get it so that it runs through to the front. Again, place your glue on the slats so that it doesn't run through on your card front. And there you have it. Oh, I forgot my bling. I like to use these Rhinestone Basic Jewels because if you have your alcohol markers, you can make them blend with any color you're using, and it just adds just a little something, I think. And then my card is ready to add a sentiment when I'm ready to know what it's going to be for. So there is card number 2. See, it wasn't really that hard. You just have to take your time with it. All right, that is card number 2. And card number 3 is another just real easy little card. We're using vellum, and this is so delicate. I just love it. It almost looks like it's a real flower. And we will be using the Exposed Brick 3D embossing folder for this layer. And I'm going to run that through real quick. Okay. All right, and I popped all the layers of this with the dimensionals. add just a couple. And I have bigger ones somewhere, but I have the small ones handy, so we're going to use those. Okay. All right, then this piece I will add the sentiment. And again, everything is other than the embossing folder. All of this is coming. I'm using the translucent floral. Wishing you all the happiness in the world. And I want to soften the edges a little bit with a dauber that I got my fingers. I had my fingers in the ink, sorry. I added just a little bit more than what I had thought, but it'll be okay. I feel like I'm rushing through and I don't know exactly why. I like to use these daubers on these edges. Adding just a little bit more than what I had planned, but it'll be okay. All right. Now, we're going to take the vellum and we're going to color it. I'm going to color about half of it the Granny Apple Green. My blend's got my pointer, my brush has got a little bit roughed up, I think. You have to be careful when you use these. Not to. All right, now this is Moody Mauve. And you can see I'm not being particularly careful how I'm just coloring the vellum. And I think I'm going to be able to cover my oopses. So let that dry just a minute. It doesn't take long. All right, and I'm going to do 2 of the flowers. And on the others, I did 2 leaves, but I think on this one, I'm going to add some leaves because, like I said, I want to cover up a little bit of my oops. Always cranks and grinds, and you go, oh no! Somehow it always works. Okay, sorry about that. All right, Now, I've got my layers, and for these, what I do is I use just a little bit of a glue dot, or I mean use a glue dot in between the layers. Okay, going to, and then I'll use a pop dot to put it down on the cardstock. And here's one of my oopses, so I'll do that. And I should have put this down. I'll pop this layer too. Okay, now all right, so that one, you can't see that little boo-boo, and I always tell my crafters, it is not a mistake. It is an opportunity for embellishment. And that's exactly what we have here. It's not a mistake. It is an opportunity for some embellishment. And if I need to, I can always add another little flower. Think. Aha! Here is another die cut, and I have a little bit of extra on my vellum, so I'll be right back. All right, so I cut a couple of these, and I can add some of that if I want, depending on how. Add another leaf. There are other things we can do. Don't think I want that little flower on there, but at any rate, there are, I can do another, cut another flower. I can cut some more, color some more vellum. I can add another small flower there. I will show you the finished project when I get it fixed the way I want it fixed. All right, we're going to use these gorgeous little and there you go. Like I said, I probably add another little flower there. I thought that would work, but I don't care for that one particularly for this card. So I'll work with it later. So, all right, there you have it. There are are 3 cards for this month, for September. And I hope you enjoyed this. I don't know how well I did. I just kind of jumped on here to get it, to do it and get it online. September was my last card club for 2023. I'll be starting back doing card club in January. However, I think you'll probably see me doing something in October. I may do something around fall or Christmas or Thanksgiving or something like that. I won't leave you high and dry for a couple of months. So anyway, I think that's everything. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Like I said, I will put all the dimensions and everything in the initial comments on this YouTube page, on my YouTube page. And I look forward to talking to you all again real soon. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.